So a lot of you guys love the kickback because you're all about growing and strengthening the booty, but it's not actually the best exercise to grow and strengthen the booty, is it?
No, it's not. I think, as I was explaining earlier, is the glute itself goes into what we call extension and external rotation. So with any exercise that you want maximal activation of all the muscle fibers, you want to go into those two motions, extension and external rotation.
Right.
So let me show you. Hop on the bed for me.
Hop like this?
Yeah, just hop, 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 and down.
Done.
Okay, so bend both knees, and this is a way that most people can work out whether or not they've got enough hip extension to do a kickback or to sort of start a booty style program or just to get enough activation through their glute. What you're going to do is you're going to take one knee to your chest. You're going to take it to your chest as far as you possibly can. What this does is this hip then goes into what we call flexion, right? So your pelvis basically goes onto the floor, your lower back rounds, and so then it doesn't allow any lower back
So is that a posterior tilt of the pelvis?
Posterior tilt of just one side of the pelvis.
Yeah.
Because then on this side, what we're going to do is we're going to push this foot into the floor or into the bed.
And how far away should we have the foot? Like a lot of people.
Great question, Emily.
Over here engages your hamstring more and
Perfect.
closer engages your glute more, yeah?
Exactly right. Yep. So the more knee bend you've got, the more opportunity or angle you've got to extend your hip.
Right.
So from here, so you're going to take your knee as close as you possibly can.
It doesn't go any further. You keep pushing it. I'm like, that's as far as it goes.
And then you're going to drive that hip straight up in the air.
And push the big toe into the ground too, yeah?
Push your big toe.
Oh, I have no movement.
And then that's true hip extension, right? So if we looked at it this way, and you can see, you guys watching this, you can see how limited amount of hip extension that Emily has. Now, if I let her use her back, watch what happens. Bang. And that's exactly what we see in the kickback,
yeah,
all the time. It's like you're going to get a sore back from doing a kickback because you're not actually activating hip extension, which is the glute or is the booty.
Yeah.
So again, if you hop over on all fours, as if you're going to do a kickback, I'll show you the same position here. So I love to, whenever we're doing anything in all fours position, is really drive these toes into the floor. It just helps the whole kinetic chain. So back nice and neutral, and then you're going to just take your leg back as far as you possibly can. Yeah, that's good hip extension. Can you go up a little bit in the air? Yeah, so you can see in the video, guys, you can see where Emily starts to use her lower back here. So this is what we're trying to avoid, right? Too much extension through this lower back position is going to be really detrimental to your back long term. So what we want to do, again, to just push into the air. Yep, beauty. So that's about Emily's hip extension range at the moment, okay? So you can always, again, add a little bit more activation by externally rotating so that you get a little bit of a tilt in the pelvis. But essentially, this is the position that you want all kickbacks to be in. And you can load them, like, you know, if you're doing partner kickbacks, so push up into my hand here, and good. Good, you can do eccentric loads, you can put a band around there and then tie it to the floor or tie it to a bench. You can do it that way as well. But I'd just be really cautious of the range of motion that you're going through in a kickback.
Yeah, and always making sure you focus on keeping your tummy tight so it doesn't do this, because a lot of people do this.
Yeah, we want to avoid that at all.
And they're like, woo, I'm doing the kickback.
One of the other things, actually, while you're there, I can show you.
Well, I'm there.
Yeah, while you're there. Well, it's 40 degrees.
I know, so much sweat.
You can also do a kickback. Like, this is really glute 101, right? This one.
Yep.
You can bend your knee. So again, the same principles apply when you're on your belly or when you're on all fours. Is the more knee bend you have, the less you can use your hamstring and the more you have to use this. Okay? So again, if I put my hand here and you push up against that, go to there and then back down, go up again. Good. You feel that more. You feel that right there.
I'm feeling everything.
Good. And again, so just to that range of motion, because above that range of motion, particularly with the tightness of Emily's hip flexors, she's going to start to extend and rotate the pelvis.